Hello again. Here you will find an overview of the course outline for 3430 Leadership and Managerial Skills for the summer of 2017. I'm going to go through the course outline. You have a copy available to you on the course website, but I will walk you through all of the different deliverables and expectations for this course so that you have that to review back to or to look back to if there are any questions or anything is unclear within the course outline. So you'll see in the top section here, I have given you the information on where to contact me. I've also given you my Twitter feed. I often tweet on Twitter issues that are links to articles and other things to read that are relevant to this course. So please feel free to follow me on Twitter and to see the types of the moment or timely things that are relevant to this course. You'll also find my email address and my telephone number. My email address is the best way to get a hold of me. Of course, you can also push an email through the course website. All right, so let's get down to some of the course information. Now, as I've noted in the introductory video, this is a skill building class. So the idea here is that you will certainly learn some concepts and some theory and some ideas that are important more broadly, but specifically I'm hoping that you will learn how these ideas fit with your own leadership style and your own leadership development. So you will see there's an opportunity within this course to really think about who you are, how you're developing your own skills, becoming more aware of where your strengths are and the spaces where either you don't have the strength or spaces where you'd like to develop strength. So you can spend some time reflecting on all of that. For this course, the textbook we will use it's actually a very interesting textbook in that it's a narrative. It's a qualitative study that reviews the thoughts and ideas of a series of managers who are moving from an employee role into a more managerial role, and what it's like to make that transition. So Linda Hill interviewed a large number of managers and wrote this book as a result. It's called Becoming a Manager, available through the bookstore. Now, I've assigned chapters for each section or each unit within this course, but some people tell me that it's easier that it's more interesting to read the book from the front to the back. Because it really does tell a story. So you're welcome to read the book and use the book in the way that best suits you, but certainly the chapters that you are responsible are outlined at the end of this course outline. There are also each week other readings that you will have to do. Many of them are linked for you to the course website where possible. But not always. There are some areas where there are copyright issues and I'm not able to provide links. For anything that's within Harvard Business Review, you have to go to the York University Library website, use your Passport York log on to access the electronic version of Harvard Business Review and download those articles. Often you can actually find those articles through a quick Google search through the Harvard Business Review website, so please feel free to do that as well if that is easier for you. Harvard does allow a few complimentary reads through their website. So whichever, if you're able to do that successfully, great, but please know that the university does subscribe to that publication. It is available to you through the library. So I've outlined here in the first section some objectives for the course, the types of things that I hope you're able to do at the end of the course. So please feel free to think through these points and to think through how you might accomplish your own development within these areas. I give a little bit about the course format here, indicating that the format is quite varied. There's a mix of case studies, readings, videos. It's designed so that you should be you're expending a similar amount of time for each unit and thereby each module. Although some modules have 4 units and some modules have 3 units, but at the same time, there is variety in how you might go through the material. There are shorter lectures. That is, as I understand it, a best practice for online courses, to have shorter lectures and to try and make more of the material engaging, of the format that you have to work your way through it. It's not as effective to sit back and passively listen to a lecture, especially when it's happening online in a very dry fashion. So my goal here has been to create opportunities and experiences for you to have online, as opposed to simply putting a bunch of longer lectures online, especially since this is a skill building class. So you'll find, again, that the format for this course is varied. So again, the textbook is here, the additional readings I've outlined are here, and then each week I will also post a slide deck to the course website that corresponds to the short video that I launched. That is just there to be helpful to you, to give you some of the key points that you're to be thinking about for that given unit. All right, so here's the piece that you'll want to know a little bit more about, the course requirements. As an overview, you'll see here that there is a book review wiki. There are 3 quizzes for each module. There is a quiz. Each quiz is worth 10%. And then there's a final exam. And I'll go into each, I'll break down each for you. So the book review wiki is a group project. Now, here's a space where I think it gives you a clear sense of what I mean by trying to take advantage of the fact that we are working online. There are lots of projects that you will have to do where you'll be working with remote teams, people that you will not meet, people that you will not see directly, and you'll have to put together a deliverable or something. You have to coordinate your inputs in a way that is asynchronous and also online. So this is an opportunity to practice that skill. It is also an opportunity to spend a little bit of time getting to know the broader ideas on leadership that exist out there. There are thousands upon thousands of books on how to be a manager and how to be a leader. So for this project, you will be assigned to a group and you will be assigned to a book. And your job here is to read the book and then to collectively, as a group, to create a book review. You'll see in the first section of the course website, there are more additional materials to help you to better understand this project. This is the project that I get the most questions about, so I've tried to capture some of those questions and give and preempt the questions by giving responses to some of the common questions that people have. But certainly you're always welcome to contact me with questions. So the thing to note about this book review are the larger goals. So here are the larger goals. The larger goals are part of being a manager or leader. It's really about working with other people. To go through a managerial course and to not spend any time with your peers, I think would be a significant oversight. The fact that you are remotely located gives us an opportunity to experience this more and more common way of working with one another, which is over media or over technology. You are welcome as a group to communicate in any way you see fit. I do have a little portal that's created that's unique to your group where you can go in and there's a discussion board and you can leave notes and messages for one another. But you are also very welcome to set up chats, to set up Skype calls or any type of other way of calling and seeing each other face to face that you would like. That is entirely available to you. So what your end goal is to do is to read one of these these leadership books, and the books that I've chosen are all books that have made a name for themselves, have had an impact on the field. You're to read the book and then to provide a review. Now, here's the thing about a review. In this course, by review, I don't mean that you need to tell us blow by blow or chapter by chapter what that book is about. Actually, I would hope to not see that. What I would hope you would do is briefly summarize the book, but then really provide a critique of the book. What does this book do well? What does this book not do well? How does it advance your own knowledge of leadership or management? I've listed in this course outline some questions that you might consider. For example, how well the book has achieved its goal, what possibilities are suggested by the book, what is the book left out, how does the book compare to others that you may have read on the topic, and what specific points are not convincing. And I've given you a little bit more guidance within that folder that I've provided that specifically addresses this content area. So the other thing I want you to do is to think of your peers in this course as the audience for your wiki page. So what we're doing is creating essentially a collective of wiki pages where you each get a snapshot of a book. So at the end of the course, you'll be able to go through the other wiki pages, see what other people have been reading, and see what books are out there and what they're about. I'll give you a little bit of insight into other books. There's actually an entire industry right now that reviews managerial books and gives people summaries of them so that they can learn a little bit about all of these popular management books, because it's really impossible to read them all. But what I'm asking you to do is to do this for your peers and to also be a little critical of the books themselves. Okay, now loading it to the wiki does take a bit of technical work, and I've given you some instructions on the technology itself. But in the early stages, I don't want you to be bogged down by the technology. Really, what you should be doing is getting started on the book, read the book, have some discussions with your group members, figure out how to organize the material and the text, maybe divvy up some of the work, and then give yourself some time near the end to really understand the technology and upload it. The great thing about the technology is that there's an opportunity to provide hyperlinks, to put in images, and to make the wiki page a little more interesting. Okay, so that project is due on the last day of class, which is June 12th. All right, so let's talk for a moment about the quizzes. At the end of each module, so I noted that there'd be units that make up a module. Each module has 3 or 4 units. I'm going to provide a quiz. Now, here's the thing about the quiz. This is meant, again, to be a skill development class. So at the end, the quizzes will not ask you to repeat course concepts. They will not ask you to just list things that may have been provided within the course. That doesn't fit with this idea of application and really understanding the material, nor does it fit with the method we're using, right? So I'm allowing all the deliverables, all the quizzes and the final exam will all be done online from wherever you are in the world. So I have to provide a bit of a challenge on the quizzes by asking you for some application of the course material. So you will do best on the quizzes if you have done all of the material for that section or that module well in advance of the quiz and you've had some time to review it. You'll have a 12-hour window within which to do the quiz. So it'll all take place on the course website. At the beginning of the allocated time, and the quiz dates are listed at the end of the syllabus, I will open up a window that has, or a link rather, that has the quiz questions, and you are to follow the instructions, answer the questions, and upload the answers back to the course website by the end of the 12-hour window. So you have 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. on the same day. You can upload them as a Word document. I ask that you use your last name as the file name. It helps me to keep track of the quizzes when I'm grading. Okay, so I think the key point here is that you need to have the material mastered to some extent so that you're ready for application, as opposed to just searching through your course content in order to repeat facts back to me. And you also have to plan to set aside some time on the days that are allocated in order to complete the quiz. Okay, so make sure that you've set aside enough time. The last piece is the final exam. The final exam will take place during the exam period as scheduled by the registrar. So the exam period is listed under important dates on the course on the York University website. You'll see the possible first day and the possible last day for the S1 calendar. The registrar gives us the date. The registrar schedules the final exams in order to minimize conflict with other courses. And then again, once we have that exam date, the exam itself would be administered online. So the exam will reflect the format of the quizzes. You'll be given a series of short and long answers, often referencing cases, whether those cases are videos or short little blurbs on something that's happening, and you'll be asked to apply your knowledge from the course to those scenarios. Again, it's not going to ask you to regurgitate concepts from the class. It's really about your own thought process, your own leadership development. You'll upload your responses to the course website in much the same way you did for the quizzes. Okay. Now here's some protocol, some other details that are important to you, that will be important to you. Of course, this course, within the course, you must abide by the academic integrity principles that are outlined by York University. If you're unfamiliar with these principles, I've provided a link here for you. But you're reminded that especially since you're working online, do not cut and paste from one area to another. We want to make sure that all of everything that you consider, everything that you write is your own work, and there's expectations of academic integrity for everything, every way in which you conduct yourself within this course with your peers and for the assignments. All assignments will be submitted using the course website. The wiki is within the course website, so when you go into the folder, you'll see that there is a wiki space available to you within Moodle, so the wiki page is only visible to your 3440 peers. Your assignments must be handed in on time. If they are outside of the timelines articulated within this course outline, there will be penalties that are around the way in which the assignments will be graded. They are outlined here in your course outline for you so that you know well in advance. If you miss any type of deliverable or assignment, I will require supporting documentation to deal with that issue. So hopefully that doesn't happen. You have a window for each of the deliverables in the class, so hopefully that allows you to complete the requirements on time. And I note that I'll try and return grades as quickly as possible. It is a rather large course, and there's a fair amount of work being done, so it will take a little bit of time, but certainly I will do my best to make sure that you have quizzes back in time to do your next quiz, and so on and so on. Okay, here at the back of the syllabus you will find the schedule, noting that of course there might be things added or taken away to the schedule with notice. So this is the first module that you'll see open, is Module 1, and all of the material herein is what you're responsible for. At the end, the module ends on May 12th. This is the day of the quiz. So at 9 a.m. on May 12th, you can expect that a window will open. You will do a quiz by 9 p.m. that night, at which point the window closes, and that module is essentially complete. I will leave the material open, as you might need to go back to it in order to reference it or to view things as you continue to study through and build your knowledge through the course, and especially for the final exam. Again, there's another module, Module 2. The quiz is May 26th, and then Module 3, where the quiz is June 9th. And that is all that I have listed here for the course 3440 for the summer term. I noted this in the welcome video, but I'll note it again here. In the version of this course that runs over 12 weeks, I do have an added deliverable, which are a series of reflection journals. It's not something that I've added to this course just because I really want you to focus on the course content and the book review. But if you, I think you might still find it helpful if you're somebody, especially if you're somebody who likes to write things down and to write down your thoughts. I think everybody can benefit from that, whether you like it or not. But to be able to take a few notes, especially as it relates to your own development, your own leadership development within the course, in order to support your ongoing skill building. You might hear me reference reflection during the course content, and so that's what I'm speaking about, is this act of really thinking through how this course material is relevant to you, relevant to your own development as a leader. All right, so that's it. Welcome again to 3440. I hope you enjoy this course and that you're able to Get something from it that relates to your own skill building and your own development, and let's get started. Take care.